Here we go. This is going to be a great call. Welcome to the Friday Senior Solutions Agency call. Joe Johnson, I'm going to be your host today. Also have Michael Mahalik, Director of Agency Development for Senior Solutions. And we usually have Jimmy Hernandez on, who's our Agency Director, as well as our certified financial planner and tax advisor. Jimmy's a little bit under the weather today. He was texting me, so I do not think he's going to be on the call. So we'll probably get him on next week when he's feeling a little bit better. But certainly appreciate everybody that takes the time to be on these calls. I mean, this is something, honestly, it's something that I don't take lightly. I know training and development, product training, sales training, this is really honestly the heartbeat of what Senior Solutions is all about. We're more than just great contracts and having multiple lead vendors. Really, Senior Solutions was built on being a leader in agent training and support, and that's really what we're all about, to make sure that we can give agents the tools necessary to go out and handle all the different cases that you may come across. Well, I'm really excited about today's call. It's kind of a continuation call of one that we did roughly about 2 weeks ago, I think, on the CVS product, CVS Aetna. We rolled out. It was the official rollout of the Final Expense product, and today we're going to revisit that, but we're going to concentrate more on how to actually submit an e-application and kind of go through some of the underwriting health questions on how to get qualified, and I'm going to give you everything you need. So if after today's call, you'll be able to log on, you'll be able to meet with a client, sell them face-to-face or even over the phone, and have everything you need to be able to submit an application and get it approved right there on the spot. All right. So very good. Let me go ahead and scroll through this. Just one quick kind of a quick service announcement. I know we've got a lot of new agents on the call. I've seen some newer names on here that maybe are just starting with the contracting process. You're just getting going with Senior Solutions. One of the things that you're definitely going to want to do that's going to be able to propel you and accelerate you through the sales process and definitely make you more efficient in the home is having your new agent starter kit. So if you haven't ordered your starter kit, let me know. If you need the email resent back to you on how to order, let myself know, let your upline manager know. We'll make sure we get you the information in order to have your new agent starter kit. When you go out and make those in-home presentations, this is really, I'm just telling you, this is what separates us from the competition. Not only having multiple carriers to choose from, but having all the tools necessary to provide value to your clients. When you go and you meet with that client and you've got that professional looking 2-pocket folder, you've got a nice, a signature business card. Guys, our business cards are not wimpy. They're not cheap. They're the, super heavy stock. I think they call it a 16-point card. It's super heavy, it's glossy, it's double-sided, it looks super professional. When you go out and you're presenting yourself and you've got all the proper tools, I'm just telling you, you're setting yourself apart from the competition, and you're already gaining credibility by having the 2-pocket folder, having these great looking business cards, having your ID badge, your state licensed ID badge with your license number on it. Utilizing the Senior Solutions Final Expense brochures, the Peace of Mind kit, the flip chart. I'm just telling you, and then all the inserts that go into the 2-pocket folders. These are all things that lend you credibility. So when you're meeting with that client, is that we want to come off more as a consultant and less like a salesperson. We want to be there to educate our clients and be able to help guide them through the education and the decision-making process. So when we get to the end, it's just, honestly, it's just a matter of finding a program that fits your budget. That's all it really comes down to. But it's important to do a proper in-home presentation you've got to have all the, the proper tools. So invest in yourself, invest in your business, make sure that you have the tools to be a professional. So that's very, very important. And for those new agents that are on the call, just a real quick intro to our senior management team, so you know who everybody is. Joe Johnson, that's me. I'm the guy speaking right now, President, CEO of the company. Not only do I run the agency, I also spend, I can't tell you how many hours a week just on the phone with individual agents, coaching, mentoring, making sure that they have all the tools necessary to be able to go out and succeed, make sure that they have clients to see, make sure they have the proper scripts, what to be able to say to the client. So utilize me on that part, obviously with Michael as well, Director of Agency Development. Michael's doing a great job of bringing on new agents. And I'm very excited at the pace that we're growing right now. It's very exciting. Our run rate, honestly, has never been higher. Michael and I make a great team. And of course, Jimmy Hernandez, who's been here almost since the beginning of Senior Solutions, a good friend of mine. Jimmy's the agency director. He's out in San Antonio, Texas. Not only does he run a very large organization, Jimmy's also a certified financial planner and tax advisor. So we lean on Jimmy for some of our bigger, more complex cases. If you've got, as an example, when I'm talking about bigger, complex cases, if you have clients that have assets of over 500,000, those are the people that we want to get with Jimmy. They may have additional tax issues. They may have, need like a, so we're not advisory, broker account. So Jimmy helps us in with some of those more complex cases, and the more educated and we'll say our high net worth clients. That's really Jimmy's expertise, as well as being all well-rounded, everything insurance. Jimmy's been one of the top final expense agents in the country as well. So guys, that's our management team. Lean on us if you need help with anything. And then we want to get into the training as quickly as possible. I want this to be all about the CVS training, how to do an e-application. And of course, if you have any questions, raise your hand. We can take some questions at the end. Guys, we work with a lot of different companies, okay? This is probably one of the easiest e-applications I've ever worked with. I did an app on myself the other day just to kind of get a feel for it. It was a final expense app, and I took screenshots of it. So what you're going to be seeing today are actually screenshots of me submitting my own application. And I suggest maybe you guys do the same. I mean, you can, if you need a little bit of final expense, if you're depending on your age, you can go all the way up to 50,000 as far as the face amount. Or if you just want to see how it works, just log into the CVS Aetna website and start enrolling yourself. You can go all the way through to the end, right before you get ready to apply the signatures, and you can just clear the signatures and withdraw the case if you decide that you actually don't need insurance. But this would be a great way for you to learn how to do it, is actually practice on yourself. All right. So Michael, you ready to get started with the?
I am ready, my friend.
All right. So this first screen that you see right now, this is when you log in to your Aetna portal. This is what you're going to see. You're going to see, and here, I'm going to get a highlighter. Hang on one second. No, I don't want to go there. Give me 1 second, guys. I should have done this. Here we go. All right. So when you log in, where this arrow is pointing, this is the home screen. This is what you're going to see. If you want to go up and take a look at your business, you can click on My Business up here. Everything you need is basically just a click away. For submitting an application or even doing a quote, if you're going to do the quote online, this is where you're going to start. Oh, by the way, I should mention this. I didn't have it as part of the training. If you have not downloaded the mobile app to your phone, pull out your phone right now, go to the App Store and type in quotes. That's quotes with an S on the go. Quotes on the go, and that will pull up the Aetna quoting tool. And you can run quotes right from your phone. You don't have to log into the computer. But for this illustration, we are going to submit an application. First thing I'm going to do is we're going to click right here on Aetna Quotes and enroll. Oh, by the way, too, I know a lot of people are kind of checking this out on YouTube. Obviously this is a live webinar, but we're going to get it recorded, we're going to get it out onto our channel. If you happen to be watching this on YouTube, you're a licensed agent, or you just want to get more information about Senior Solutions, or you want to be able to take a look at our other videos, do yourself a big favor. Go ahead and hit subscribe. We're one of the few full service agencies out there, brokerages, that actually put out like real training content, not just highlights, not just little 5-minute commercials. The videos that we put out are authentic training that you can go back and take a look at. So I would recommend definitely subscribe to the channel, and that way you have access to all the trainings that we've done in the past. Now, real quick, product availability. This is as of July the 17th. They may have added a few states, but everything that you see in red has been approved. The only one that is pending, that we do a lot of business in, is Florida. Okay, but for our Florida agents out there, don't panic. You can still sell the Aetna product. You're just going to sell it under American Continental versus Ascendo. Not a big deal. Virtually about the same product. I'll show you how to do it, okay? It's not a big deal. California, I know you guys are waiting. California, once you get your writing number, you can still sell the Aetna product. You're gonna sell the product under American Continental. Pennsylvania, yeah, we do business in Pennsylvania, same thing, American Continental. Michigan, American Continental. New York, we don't do business in, and I don't think we're in the Dakotas, or I'm not sure about Washington State if we have agents there. But everything that is in the gray, those for right now, if you want to sell, you're just going to click on the American Continental product, okay? So that's a map of the United States of what's available. All right, so once we get into the quoting tool, this is what you need to enter to be able to get a quote. It's important to go ahead and start with the client's zip code, because that's going to determine the state that they're in and the product availability. So you're going to want to put in the zip code. Obviously, that's going to populate the state. You can either put in their date of birth or the age. I always like putting in the date of birth. The effective date, if you're just doing a quote, it doesn't really matter. You can put in today's date. If you want to future date it, let's say you want the effective date. If I'm writing a policy today, but let's say my clients don't want the first premiums to come out until the 3rd of September, maybe for the effective date, I would put in the 3rd of September. Now, for this illustration, I click mail because I'm doing an app on myself. I'm non-tobacco. Type in your client's names. Now, just to do the quote, this is optional. You don't need to put in the client's name just to get a quote. But in this case, because I knew I'm submitting an application, so hypothetically, let's just assume that you've already done the quote on the phone and you've done your 3-option close and the client's already picked out a premium. So yeah, I can afford this, great. And we're rolling into the application. You're utilizing either a tablet or a laptop. Okay, now from here, once I've done that, I'm going to click here on View Products. Okay, now this is when it's going to pull up the list of products that you can sell. As you can see, there's a lot of products. You can sell them. You can sell Medicare supplements. They have dental, vision, cancer plans, heart attack plans, home care plus, recovery care, hospital indemnity flex plans. So there's a lot of plans under the Aetna platform that you're going to have access to. For this particular scenario, because I live in Illinois, I want to sell the Final Expense Ascendo product. If you were in one of those states that did not have the product, my green arrow is blocking it, but it would be this product. So as an example, if you're in California, Pennsylvania, or Florida, simply click right here on American Continental, okay, and then proceed. Okay, now after you do that, you want to put in the face amount. So I'm going to do a quote. I was looking for 20,000, so I'm going to put in 20,000. It's going to populate a number. I think you have to click the quote button. It's going to populate the number. After you have the number, you want to go ahead and proceed. So we want to add it to the cart, and that's going to add it. You're going to see it's going to add it right over here. There we go. So now you see the product. The product is the Final Expense Premium Applicant Joseph Johnson, Preferred Level Plan, $84.70. There's the total. Now I want to go ahead and start enrollment. Okay, we're actually starting the e-app application. First question is, are you a legal resident? I'm going to answer yes to that. And now, guys, it's going to go right into the health questions, okay? And we will kind of go through the, I'm not going to read the health questions verbatim. I'm just going to kind of go over them a little bit. This is a three-tier cascading application. What does that mean? Well, with the Aetna plan, the Aetna CVS, you've got a preferred, which means that the client answers no to all the health questions. They have a standard, which means they answer yes to one of the questions in the last section, and then they have a modified, is if they answer anything yes in section B. Section A, the first, I think it's about 7 or 8 questions. Guys, these are all the knockout questions. If they answer yes to any of the questions that I'm about to go over, your client does not qualify, okay? Now, before you start an e-application, you should have already pre-qualified your client with the health question. That's why it's great to utilize the cheat sheet, or maybe even just print a, what I always like to do is just have a copy, a paper app of the application with the health questions already printed out. So, when I do my preliminary thing and I'm asking my client all the basic health questions, like, oh man, they're CVS all the way. Before I actually submit the application, I'm going to kind of use the paper app as a little bit of a cheat sheet to kind of go through it to make sure there's nothing that's going to surprise me. Okay. So first question is that, are you currently, guys, if they're confined to a hospital, home nursing facility, psychiatric facility, they're not going to qualify, okay? If they're receiving home health care or they're in hospice, they're not going to qualify. If your client uses a wheelchair or a scooter, they're not going to qualify due to chronic illness. Now, if your client, when they go shopping at Walmart, they get the electric scooter, guys, that doesn't count, okay? But if they have severe enough mobility issues where maybe they're not confined, but they need to use a wheelchair or a scooter to get around in their home, they're not going to qualify for this product. If they're using a walker is going to be okay. So a lot of clients, they're a little bit unstable and they use a walker, so that's totally fine. Just CVS does not want those clients that really have to depend upon a wheelchair or a scooter, just to get around in their house. If they've used oxygen in the last year, it's a no-go, okay? So if your client had been on oxygen, let's say they were on oxygen, let's say they had, I don't know, let's say they had, some type of surgery and they had to come home with an oxygen tank and it was just temporary and it was like, a little bit over a year ago, they'll be fine with this product, okay? So oxygen is a no-go unless it is for sleep apnea, which is totally different. Have been advised to have kidney dialysis. So if your client is on kidney dialysis or has been recommended to have kidney dialysis. Now, usually if they're, need kidney dialysis, that means they're, it's end stage renal failure. So they're usually in bad shape. Next question, has your client been advised to have a medical procedure or surgery that hasn't been completed yet? So let's say you're writing the application and your client says, well, have you ever had a heart attack? Well, no, but I have some I've got clogged arteries and I'm scheduled for open heart surgery next week. They don't qualify, okay? You can write them guaranteed issue, but if, they're scheduled for a surgery, they're not going to qualify. All right. These are guys, and by the way, these knockout questions are nothing crazy. These knockout questions are about the same with most carriers. Next one, have you been advised to receive an organ or bone marrow transplant, or have you had an amputation due to complications of diabetes? It's a no-go. Guys, I don't care if it was just their little pinky toe, okay? If they've had an amputation due to diabetes, it's a no-go. Now, amputation due to an injury, that's a totally different story. I've had all crazy things. I've had a client that had his leg amputated because of a shark bite. I've had clients that got hit by a train that have had their arms and legs amputated, and they still got preferred because it wasn't due to an illness. Next one. Okay, this is the AIDS question. Pretty obvious here. If they have HIV or AIDS, they're not going to qualify. You need to go. You can write them guaranteed issue, or you could write them the Mutual of Omaha accidental death program. Let's see. Have you ever been diagnosed to receive or been advised to receive treatment for medical condition for, ALS, that's Lou Gehrig's disease, Huntington's disease, sickle cell anemia. These are all very common. Alzheimer's, dementia. If they have ever had congestive heart failure, they're not going to qualify. End stage disease, we've already talked about that. Or cerebral palsy, cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy, any unoperated heart defect. So like if your client has a bad, let's say they have a heart defect, maybe it's a heart valve, they've never had it fixed, potentially that maybe could knock them out from getting this product. So we're almost through the knockout questions, which are pretty tough. I mean, these questions that we're covering are usually people that are, seriously sick. What I'm going to tell you is that the majority of the people that you're going to go see are going to qualify for this product. You'll be able to get them in with either the standard or modified. Within the last 2 years, guys, listen to this. This is a really important. I'm going to read this exactly the way it's written. Within the past 2 years, have you been diagnosed with, received, or been advised to receive chemotherapy, radiation from any form of cancer except the basal or squamous cell skin cancer? So it's only a 2-year look back for cancer treatment. This is phenomenal. Most of the other companies that we deal with, minimum have a 3-year, some of them have a 4-year. We even have one company, one of our final expense companies, I think has a 5-year look back. 2-year look back on cancer. Man, I've ran into this so many times with women that have had breast cancer, men that have had prostate cancer. You know, a lot of times with prostate cancer, you know, they have the surgery and, you know, like one treatment of radiation and they're done. So as long as they haven't had any treatment in the last 2 years, guys, you can mark no for that question regarding cancer. Have you ever had or been diagnosed with more than one occurrence of the same or different type of cancer? So if they've had cancer multiple times, or their cancer, they had it and it came back, not going to qualify for this product. So, okay, those are all the knockout questions. So as long as your client answers no to these first 8 questions, you know they're going to qualify for something. Okay, now we transition to section B. If anything is answered yes in section B, they're going to be eligible to apply for modified. Guys, modified is a graded death benefit, 2 years with return of premium, okay, plus interest. So in order to get modified within the past 2 years, have they been treated or diagnosed, have been advised to receive treatment for alcohol or drug abuse? If they used illegal drugs, if they've been convicted or pleaded guilty to driving under the influence. We really, honestly, occasionally will run into this, but not very often. Usually not with the seniors do we run into people that are, DUIs or been in and out of rehab or that sort of thing. Complications of diabetes, such as insulin shock or neuropathy, okay? Now, this is something that we run into quite a bit. So if you get that client, they're diabetic, and they have neuropathy, let's just, like right now, say CVS is not going to be your best bet. I'd probably look at Royal Neighbors as an example. There could be other carriers that we could look at, but that would be my first one to take a look at. Remember, there's not one carrier that's going to be the end all to final expense. Like there's no perfect carrier, okay? That's why we have multiple solutions. Now, the one good thing about the CVS product when it comes to diabetes is that there's no question about when you got it or what you're taking. So you could have somebody that's had diabetes. Let's say they insulin dependent. Let's say they're type 1 diabetic and they got diagnosed as a kid and they've been on insulin their entire life. As long as they don't have any complications, they get qualified for preferred with this product. So that's one of the benefits, is that with a lot of the other companies, they may be more lenient on something, but then they'll throw in an age. They'll like, have you used insulin prior to the age of 30? With CVS, there's no question in regards to when you were diagnosed with diabetes, which is awesome. If they've got kidney or liver disease, it's gonna have to go modified. Let's see here. Within the past 2 years, have you been diagnosed to receive or been advised to receive treatment for angina, which are chest pains, or heart attack, cardiomyopathy, or any type of circulatory procedure or surgery? So if you had a client, as an example, if you had a client and let's say they didn't have a heart attack, but they had clogged arteries, they had to get a stent put in or open heart surgery. If it's within the last 2 years, they're going to have to go modified. Or if they had a stroke, aneurysm, or brain tumor within the last 2 years, the good news is you can still get them coverage. It's just going to have to be modified. Okay. So now we continue. Once you click no, you don't have to click this check eligibility. You can just keep going. Okay. So guys, what I will say is I encourage you is to hop on their website, man, and just do a practice app on yourself. See how easy it is. Just basically reading the health questions. So we're going into section C. So section C is if they've answered anything yes in this section, guys, they're still eligible for same-day coverage. They can get the standard rate. So let's read the questions. Within the past 2 years, have you had or been diagnosed with, received, or been advised to receive treatment for angina, chest pain, heart attack. Well, let's see here. Isn't that the same? Hang on one second. Let me go back. I'm sorry. I think I read this question wrong. Okay, I knew that didn't make sense. Let me go back. I think it was because question 2, I think I inserted the year 2. Okay, this is a big deal. Okay, so in this question, it's asking within the past year, just 1 year, have you had a heart attack, angina, heart attack, cardiomyopathy, any type of circulatory surgery? So here's what that's telling you is that if your client had heart surgery within the last year, they would have to go modified. If it's been over a year, so in other words, so let's say your client had the heart attack, it was over a year ago, but less than 2 years, they're going to qualify for standard. I'm sorry, I think I totally misread that, but this is something that's this is really a game changer. So this is it makes a big difference, the time frames. Okay, I'm glad I caught that. All right, so now we go into section C. Now it's saying within the past 2 years. So as long as they haven't had anything major, if they haven't had a heart attack or stroke or any type of heart surgery in the last 2 years, a TIA, any type of aneurysm, they're going to qualify for preferred because we're going to be able to answer no to these questions. Have you had or have you been diagnosed to receive or been advised to receive treatment or medication for Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, systemic lupus, COPD, chronic bronchitis, emphysema, or any other chronic respiratory condition? So if we get a yes anywhere in section C, they're going to qualify for standard coverage, again, which is same day coverage. So if you get that client that has, COPD, they're going to be eligible for same day coverage. Or get this, what if they had a heart attack 15 months ago and they have COPD? I think they would still be able to get standard because you're over the year. It's been 1 year since you had your heart attack and you're answering yes to the COPD. So guys, this, I believe, let me double check. Okay, yes. These are all the health questions that you have to answer. Pretty easy, right? If you notice how quickly I was able to read through these compared to some of the other applications that have a lot more into them, like ask a lot more questions. I think these are very simplified questions. I love the way that they have them spaced out. Okay, so in this particular situation, we're going to assume that our client answered no to everything. Okay, now we're going to move on. Now there's also an individual children's term rider that's available. If you don't want it, just click no and you can move past this. Okay, if you want yes, there's going to be a couple of health questions that you have to be able to answer in order to get the children qualified for the children's term rider. So this would be, it's very inexpensive. It'd be great for either if you're selling this to a person that has children that are under the age of 18, or in most cases, it's going to be grandchildren. And then you're going to just simply ask the question, completing the application, if the insured currently has life insurance in force, yes or no. You're not required to fill everything out, but put in as much information as you can. Typically, we're not going to be replacing it, so we're going to answer no. But if they do have insurance, if you can put in the name of the company, the face amount, policy number, if you don't know it, you can just write in there, don't know. You don't need to put in the mailing address. That's only if you have it. So put in as much information as you can, and then you want to click down here at the bottom, you want to click next. It's going to take you to this screen right here. It's basically just verifying the premium, and we're going to click next. Now it's going to ask you if you currently have a Medicare supplement plan. Now with Aetna Ascendo, if you happen to run into a client that happens to have an Aetna Medicare supplement plan, potentially they could get approved for what they would refer to as like the super preferred rate. It's the preferred rate. I believe the premiums are 10% less if they happen to have that. So if you're in the process of doing your application, wouldn't be a bad idea just to probe and ask the client, hey, out of curiosity, you wouldn't by chance happen to already have a Medicare supplement plan through Aetna, would you? Okay, and if they do, you can mark yes. They'll be able to pull up the records. The kind of cool thing is that if you do get a client that has an Aetna supplement plan, they're going to get 10% off of their rate, but you, the agent, you still get paid on full commission. So as an example, if they were to qualify, if in this case, if they had a Medicare supplement plan, the rate is going to go down what the consumer's paying, but as the agent, my commission is still going to be based on what the premium rate was. So we still get the full commission, which is pretty cool. One little side note too, on this particular product, on the Ascendo product, I think we mentioned this on the training 2 weeks ago. The ages, this product goes from age 40 to age 89, and it's the same comp rate for all ages. So whether your client is 41 or 85, whatever your comp rate is, that's what you're going to get paid. Okay. Now, if you're in California or Florida and you're selling American Continental, on the higher ages, you're going to take a little bit of a haircut in commission. It's not bad, just a little bit of a haircut in commission until the Ascendo product gets approved. All right, so here, let's moving on. So we answered no, we don't have a Medicare supplement plan. Now this is pretty cool right here. Let's read this. This has to do with if you're submitting an application, and let's say you're submitting preferred, you want to ask your client, would they be willing to accept a standard or a graded policy if they don't get applied for or approved for preferred? So the insured for which you qualify may have to return. Okay, that just talks about the return of premium for the 2 years. The amount of coverage will be less amount approved for. Not all riders are be willing to apply if different. Okay, so what this box right here is just asking you is that would your clients accept standard or graded if they don't qualify preferred? I always put yes. And then what I put in here is just adjust face amount to match premium. So as an example, if I've already closed my client on $85 a month, I don't want to have to raise them up on premium. We're going to keep their premiums the same. Let's say they get approved for standard versus preferred. We'll keep the premiums the same. We'll just lower the face amount a little bit to match the premiums. Now, in this case, we're applying for $20,000. We've got the effective date. This is when I did this. These are the different riders. The accelerated death benefit rider, there's no charge for that. In this example, I'm just showing on $20,000, we added the accidental death benefit rider. That was $5.78 extra. And we did a children's term rider. We added one child for $10,000 of coverage. It was extra. It was a $2.63 for that. And so in this case, I think I went back a couple of times, but premiums ended up being $93.11 after I added in the two different riders. Now, the next screen is, I believe it's going to be beneficiary. Yeah, you're just going to add in your primary. Once you type in the information, just click add beneficiary. It's going to insert their information. Now you want to put in your client's information, basically putting in their address, city, email address. You do not need to put in a client's email address. If you want to, you can. But one of the things that's really cool about this product is that even if you're selling it over the phone and you're selling it remotely, you do, and the clients are going to sign electronically, you don't have to put in their email address. Okay, I'll show you at the end how to do this. It's very, very simple. So this is just all their basic information. You're putting in their social security number, all that. Click next. Now you need to collect their banking information, routing number, financial institution. Once you put in the routing number and you click enter, it's going to automatically pop up the financial institution. You mark, typically it's going to be a checking account. Enter in the routing number. Click add. Once you do that, you want to add that. Then you click next. Here we go. Here's the premium policy. Upon policy approval, you can select when you want it to draft. So this one I just happened, that gives you a couple of different choices. You can do it like future dated. You can do Social Security billing, or if they have a particular date that they want it on. So I did Social Security billing just to show you how that would work. Let's say you have a client that gets paid on the 4th Wednesday of the month. So you click Social Security billing, you add the account. So you've already put in their checking account information. You just click here and then add like what account you want it to be taken out of. And then in this case, we're doing the 4th Wednesday. Click next. I want the policy to be mailed to the applicant. Click next. Okay, start signature process. Okay, click down here. And this will just kind of give you an overview so you can just kind of double check all the information in case you have to go back, just verify that, you've got everything in there properly. You're applying for the right plan, essentially. Now, for the signature, I think this is the coolest part of the program that I love. You can do in person, email signature, or my favorite, security question signature. Okay, so if you're in person, so if you're if you happen to be at the client's house, you can just click in person, and the client will sign for themselves and you sign for yourself. If you want to do it by email, let's say your client is, they want to be sent an email where they have to electronically sign it, that's an option. But what I would recommend is just utilize the security question signature, and that is you're gonna ask the client one of, I think it's either 7 or 8 different security questions. So let's assume and you can do this whether you're selling over the phone or in person. So let's just say we're hypothetically, let's say we're selling the deal over the phone. Okay. So I've closed my client. It comes down to the signature part. Say it's basically, all right, Mr. and Mrs. Client, we're going to go ahead and we're going to apply for the coverage. And so, Mrs. Client, in order for us to go ahead and get you to electronically sign the application, we just need to ask you a security question. And then I don't show the entire drop down, but when you click this arrow right here, there's going to be a drop down that's going to list a bunch of questions. It's like, what's your favorite color? What's your pet's name? What's your mother's maiden name? What city were you born in? You can choose any of them. Okay. So if you say, hey, Mrs. Client, what's your favorite color? Well, I really don't have one. Okay. What's your mother's maiden name? I can't remember. Okay. Where were you born? What city were you born in? So you just, you can pick and choose which one you want to answer. So your client says, I was born in Chicago, Illinois. type in the word Chicago right there. Where were they born? Click agree. Click apply signature. Guys, your client just signed the application by answering the security question. No phone call, no phone interview, no email address, done deal. Okay. You're going to submit the application. You, the agent, you have to sign it. Okay, so you do your part, you sign it, you click submit application. Now at this point, if this is where, let me back up. If you wanted to back out and not submit the application, this is where you would just click cancel signatures. Okay, so if you're doing a practice app on yourself, let's say you just wanted to go this far, you could back out, cancel signatures, and then just back out of the application. You might just want to, get yourself approved. Okay, so when you click on submit application, this is the screen that you're going to get. Okay, and you can see right here, the little circle, there's nothing in there, which means check underwriting. So while it's doing that, you click this button right here where it says check underwriting, and then you'll get that little spinning wheel that will pop up right here. That's the spinning wheel. And then eventually, it may take about a minute or so, it's gonna pop up, it's gonna change colors. You're either gonna get a green for approved, yellow for routed to underwriting, or it's declined, or try again shortly. Okay, when I did my application, I think it was approved within, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds, 40 seconds. I mean, it was pretty quick. I feel like it was definitely less than a minute. Okay, I mean, they can run the prescription history, MIB back pretty darn quick. So you're done, absolutely done. So you got congratulations, your applicant is approved for coverage. You got a green mark there. If it comes back declined, you know what? Then you need to look at a different case. Maybe you can talk to your client. Maybe they'll remember something that they were taking. Maybe you thought to yourself, this client is a little bit iffy. You're going to give it a shot. It gets declined. Maybe you got to go guaranteed issue at that point. Now, once you've submitted to your business, they've got a great little portal where you can go in and you can check all your pending applications. And guys, that's really it, man. Let's see if we have any questions. Michael, are you still there?
I am here, sir.
What do you think about that? That's a pretty simple application, isn't it?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Johnson and I have looked at hundreds of products. I think, Joe, we can both say this product is a game changer.
I think so, for sure.
Then you want to marry in the fact that it has brand recognition. Why is Mutual of Omaha so popular? Because it has a 99% brand recognition. And if I remember right, Joe, 98% of the population lives within a 10-mile radius of a CVS pharmacy or Aetna.
Right, yeah.
So that brand recognition goes a long ways when you're dealing with seniors in the low to low middle income. So this is a game changer product. If someone told me I couldn't get any other product other than this one, this would probably be the one that I would choose, Joe. So excellent job this morning. Very usable, very powerful product. And Joe, when we did rate comparison, also very competitive with rates as well.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Truly a game changer.
Rates are good, man. They're not necessarily coming in the cheapest, but they're in other words, they're in the game, dude. I mean, it's a great product. The underwriting is very liberal. Who else goes up to age 89? It's pretty crazy. And especially if you look at the rates for some of the older clients, they're extremely competitive. And also like the fact that you can go up to 50,000. So, especially when you have those clients in their mid late 50s that are looking for a little bit of extra coverage, you can go up to 50K on this product. Let's see if we have any, see if there's any questions. If you have a question, raise your hand. I don't see any questions right now, but we're going to get this recorded. Actually, Ken May has a question. Let me see if anybody else has any. Robert Munez has a question, raising his hand. All right, so let's take a couple of questions. I'm going to try to, we'll see if we can unmute a couple of people. So I'm going to start down at the bottom and work my way up. So Robert, I'm going to unmute you first. You're self-muted. See if you can unmute.
Hi, Joe. Thanks for the information. This is very exciting, and we're all excited to get our underwriting numbers. So again, I know there's a lot of requests, and I'd just like to know how are we progressing with our request to have the numbers issued out to us. Thanks.
Good question, buddy. Not as fast as we would like to. In fact, Michael was just on the phone this morning with Teresa, following up. Here's what I can tell you is that you're in the queue. Right now, it's just a matter of waiting for CVS. Unfortunately, I hate to make excuses, but with COVID and everybody working from home, the background checks are slow, the state appointments are slow. Robert, I wish I had a better answer, man. We just got to be patient. But I would say you'll have your writing number by next week, though. But awesome product. I imagine you and Brenda are pretty excited about this.
We certainly are. Can't wait. Thank you so much.
Yeah, awesome, man. Good to hear your voice. Let's see here. We got lots of questions. Let's take, let's see. Hey, Robert, do me a favor, buddy. Go ahead and mute out. Perfect. Thank you. And let's see, Richard Edwards. Let's see, you are self-muted. If you can unmute.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Good. My question is, I'm in Florida, and I was wondering if you have any time frame about that.
No, I don't. I asked the other day. All I can tell you that it's been filed. So it's filed with the state of Florida. We've already have agents in Florida that have been appointed, and they're using the American Continental. Honestly, it's virtually the same product.
Okay.
So for now, what I would do is if you have a client, and the application process is the same. So unfortunately, right now, I would say, I'm hoping by you probably don't want to hear this, but probably by the end of September, it'll be done. So probably about another month.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I would use American Continental. I've looked at the product. It's a great product, very competitively priced. And the comp rate on it is very good as well.
Very good. Thank you.
Awesome, buddy. Good talking to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. We've got Rhonda up in International Falls, Minnesota. See if she can unmute. Rhonda, you're self-muted. If you want to
All right, I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're live. You're welcome, caller.
I have a question for you. What if you were appointed with Aetna or CVS on another, like on the Medicare side? Will that affect it going over on the final expense side?
No, I mean it shouldn't. We can check with. I know yours has been submitted. So,
Okay.
hey, Michael, why don't you just take I know you're driving, but if you could take a mental note and then maybe just check after this call, check with Teresa and ask her that question, and then get back with Rhonda and get her answer. But Rhonda, we've got quite. I mean, Aetna's a mega company, so obviously we've got a lot of agents that have been contracted with Aetna on the Medicare sub side. So we're working through it. I don't think it's an issue, but we'll get you an answer.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Any other questions about the product or anything? No, let's see. She muted out. No problem. Let's see here. And then Ken May. Ken, we're going to unmute you. All right, Mr. May, you are unmuted. If you have a question, if you could unmute. No, okay. Let's see. Attendee is self-muted and is muted. Okay, let me click. Okay, now if you okay, Ken may be having a problem there. I'm not sure. Let's see if we have any other questions. Okay, that's it. Ken, we can always, let me try it one more time. We can always give you a call and answer your question. All right. All right, Michael. Well, that's it, man. Guys, everybody, thank you so much for hopping on the call today. I hope this information has been helpful. Let's go out there. Let's make a difference in clients' lives. Let's make sure that we're getting them the right coverage with the right company. And certainly, if you have any questions regards to the CVS Aetna product, get in touch with myself. Get in touch with Michael. We'll get you pointed in the right direction. Guys, just be patient on the contracting. We've got everybody submitted. We're at the mercy of the carrier at this point. We're doing everything we can in our power in contracting to get everybody submitted in a timely fashion. Just unfortunately, it's we're dealing it not only with Aetna, but with all the carriers. Contracting is just a lot slower due to the fact that people are working from home. Background checks are not coming back. The state appointments are not coming back, but we are working through it. And I will say this is it seems to, I seem to see a trend with Aetna that they are getting the appointments done a little bit faster. So hopefully that's a good trend. But everybody, thanks for plugging into the call today. Appreciate you hopping on the call and getting educated on the CVS Aetna Final Expense product. All right, everybody. God bless. Michael, take care, buddy.
Thanks, everybody. God bless you. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, take care. All right, Ken, if you're still on, we will give you a call and answer your questions, sir. All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.